Welcome back. Here we are in Salt Lake City, Utah, alongside Anthony Celesto. My name is Dave Vincent. You are watching the WPH Simple Green Race for 8. We are live getting ready for this quarterfinal match where Luis Moreno will face David Fink. Referee is Tommy Little, who's making his way up to the reffing box, and he's going to make the announcements right now. Let's go to the gallery where Tommy's going to pick up that microphone and announce Dave Fink and Luis Moreno. Luis representing the Idaho Spuds and Dave Fink, the Seattle Wax. Here's that announcement.
Quarterfinal match of the day. Receiving serve from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's give a round of applause for Mr. Dave Fink. And serving first from Tucson, Arizona. Let's give a round of applause for Mr. Luis Moreno.
Luis Moreno is the race leader. He's number one
Okay, my linesmen are set.
in the points.
0 serve 0.
Everyone is chasing Luis right now. Immediately he goes after a crack serve. And I've seen players in these events, Anthony, after a crack serve like that, call timeout, even if it's the first point in the game. Because when Luis starts hitting that or locating that serve and then that one right there, what are you going to do? That's the most amazing serve I've ever seen right there.
Exactly what just happened. Nothing, really.
Thought that ball was short. Luis has about as good enough power of anybody I've ever seen, and he also has one of the best serves of anybody I've ever seen.
One serves 2.
One of the best I've ever seen in general.
He's one of the best players in the game. But Dave Fink usually plays Luis fairly close.
I'm expecting an aggressive match here. Both players. Out of both players.
Short.
Luis can hop the ball as good as anybody on this planet, and he does it with about 80 miles per hour coming off of his hand, which is really hard to do. Oh, by the way, he's a really good athlete, and he can get up and move and all of that stuff all the time.
And I talked to him before the game, and he actually is wearing wrestling shoes, Dave, to take some, just as, you know, the little weight off his feet as possible, because he really likes the way they feel, and says he can move around quite well.
And Dave Fink scores another point here. Dave Fink from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's really not happy right now. He doesn't feel that he has the best referee in the box. And you and I both said just focus on the match, and you haven't even gone into the court yet, and he's already talking about the referee.
Those are things you can't really worry about, you know. That's like in a football game or baseball, basketball. There's human error and everything. You know, you can't worry about who's making the calls. You just play the game, and, you know, if you're good enough to, you know, overcome it, then it'll happen. So just bowling foul through.
It's a point. 3 serves 5.
And you get into the quarterfinals, and the matches routinely run a little bit quicker than what you'll see in the 16s or even in the qualifiers when it comes to the pace of the play.
I gave him the shot.
I don't know what he's complaining about, Dave.
Where was the hinder?
I don't. It was Luis' shot, and he had him. Luis had him where he wanted him, on the wall.
Ball was short.
Short ball. Second serve.
Little confusion.
Dave Fink's very defensive right now with this referee. He feels that there's an issue with the ref, but not giving him benefit of the doubt. The referee actually called short. Dave wants to appeal, and he's upset. Which is, you don't have to be upset. You just turn around and appeal it. That's the way the game's played. You don't have to be upset after every play. You can just appeal it. It's that easy.
And you know what? We're already seeing a different Fink than we did a game ago when he played Emmett. So.
6 serves 5.
But with that said, he's down by 1, and a side out would tie this game. Smart.
Yep.
Had his feet tied up, but he still did it right.
didn't try to do too much with it.
Well, that just shows you that these guys have an idea of what they want to do with the ball even before they hit it. It's like
Point.
Dave Fink saying to himself, I know that this is going to fool me in the back corner, so I'm just going to flip it up there
7 serves 5.
because I know if I do, it's going to put him in a defensive spot. Gee, Luis
Great
really
serve.
had Dave leaning, and
Side out.
as you know too, when you get leaned out of a shot, sometimes it gives you the best shot you've ever made in your life because you're
6
going over
serves
the top
seven.
of the ball,
Right.
having to reach back for it. Good serve right there from Fink. And a nice kill shot in that left corner. Dave Fink now at, I believe, 8. Let's listen to the score.
7 serves 7.
7-7. I apologize.
Side out. I saw it good.
He's appealing his serve.
Let's play it over. He has a good view. Let's play it over.
It's a good call from the referee. Referee
Yeah,
was
I never
not
saw
sure.
it either, to be honest. Yeah, short. Okay, yeah. Played over 2 serves.
Referee couldn't see it. One of the line judges couldn't see it. One
7-7.
line judge said that it was good.
Oh.
So they decided to play it over.
Yeah, that's right. 6-7.
No, it's not. It's 7-7.
I have 7-7 marked. Yeah, I have 7-7 marked, and we're playing it over.
No, it's 7-7 is the score. Score is not 6-7. Tommy actually called 7-7, and we have
7
that
serves 7.
here on the broadcast. That's not an incorrect call.
Short. Second serve.
That's funny. That is technically two short balls right there, but one was overturned.
Side out.
All of that shenanigans for just a side
Side
out,
out.
and Luis is now at 8.
8 serves 7.
These guys have had a pretty good history where at one point just recently, Moreno had a 9-0 lead, and 7 of those went tiebreaker,
Wow.
to include 3-wall national quarterfinals. Dave Fink is an accomplished 3-wall player, and he's going to dig that ball out.
Very smart. Good playing by Dave. He just needs to put it away at that
You
point
see how
in time.
quick Luis is able to flip that ball to the back wall and then get right back into position?
But
So
he
light
makes
on
it
his
look
feet.
so easy.
Oh, I know. It's
9
unbelievable.
serves 7.
Actually, he has fun doing it.
I believe it. Oh, great.
Point.
Right there. Looks like he's going right and pulls it left. Nice natural. Catches the ball before it even gets to the back wall.
Well, he
serves
had,
7.
he had Fink leaning that one time, and I think he remembered that.
Timeout.
And a smart timeout call from Dave Fink. We are
Coming back
here
to
in
handle
Salt
11
Lake City at the
serves 7.
Sports Mall for the men's
Dave's
quarterfinal
answer
matchup. Dave Fink and Luis Moreno. This is rally scoring, best 2 out of 3 to 25, win by 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Luis Moreno stopped by the booth here and asked where the fountain drink was.
Mhm.
And you're saying it's located in the men's locker room?
Yep. On the,
Not a great
wall.
place to have a fountain drink. I mean, I don't
agree
know
with
about you, but not so much.
Nah, then nah. I'd rather not get into this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
no, I'd like
no.
to get into it, actually. I'm actually into it right now. It just
rather-
doesn't would you have a kitchen located in a men's locker room?
Oh God, no.
Well, then why would you have a fountain? Everybody
I don't know.
pushing the button on the side and
Right, and then naked people
Yeah, people
standing
wa-
trying to
waiting for you?
wait.
It just
move. Yeah.
doesn't seem right to
No,
me.
not at all.
Everything all around it, I'm not liking about it.
But back to handball, anyways.
Sorry, I thought Luis was still getting a drink. And
Quick.
look at that ball just squelch
Side
out. Dave Fink put a little wrinkle on that. Moreno is
8
just
serves
such a
11.
very good athlete, and he's in great shape.
Short.
He plays soccer to tune up for handball. He said he
Second
just
serve.
got into it, and he's
Love it.
never really played it before, and yet he's considered one of the best players on his team. He's having to learn as he goes, and I was talking to one of his teammates, said he's unbelievable at soccer. He never played before. He started an indoor league,
9 serves
and
11.
they said he's just a natural talent. Also, he picked up a tennis racket for the first time, and people were in awe with how good he was.
Most handball players, though, are generally pretty darn good athletes. 'Cause I think it takes someone special to play handball. And
a good point. Thought there was some contact there, no call. We've seen a pretty good ceiling game between these two here, and the first miss, and you can attribute that to a great placement from Dave Fink, and also that side wall is crazy.
Very
10
difficult.
serves 11.
We saw that with a lot of other players, though, too, Dave, with missing the balls right on the left wall.
Here's a big knock on Luis. He overhits some of his balls and leaves them off the back wall pretty thick. See right there?
Perfect example.
Dave Fink is unable to put 2 of those overhits away. I'm surprised Luis didn't run back and get that. Dave Fink is feeling winded. Luis Moreno's yelling at himself.
Well, Luis kind of had a couple shots that he wanted to do
11
something
serves
different with, but he
11.
just wasn't able to.
We're all together at 11 here.
Great shot by Luis there.
That's how Luis plays. Dave dives in. Luis jumps over and doesn't
Point.
get to the ball, and the point is called for Dave Fink. And you see Luis giving Tommy Little a little look back, and now Dave's asking for a towel, but really he's asking for some time to breathe here.
What do you think about that, Dave? Do you think that was the right call by letting him stay down and having him jump over him?
I believe it's a right call because Luis jumped over him and he went for the ball. I would have liked to see him jump over it and raise a hand.
Or just
Saying,
hold
I'm
up?
showing you I can get to this, but I'm actually don't want to get to it. I'm just
Right.
going to let you know I'm getting to it. You can't go after the ball. You have your guy laying on the ground.
Set.
Luis
Oh,
can
yeah,
get a
that's what
hand
you
on
want.
it and
Right.
just throw it to the back court. You
Right.
get a free point. You can't have both.
12 serves 11.
What you don't want is to have your cake and eat it too scenario where you go for it and if you miss, you look back at the referee.
Right.
Tommy, let Luis take that because Luis is one of the fastest guys on the tour, one of the best getters I've ever seen. And that sometimes your reputation will haunt you.
Great playing.
Side out.
Dave Fink is really feeling the effects here of this elevation.
Well, he played a long hour-and-a-half match earlier today
12
against
serves
Emmett
12.
Pashot that went 3 games, so I'm sure it has somewhat of an effect on him.
Point.
He looks exhausted. 13-12 is the score with Moreno serving.
13 serves 12. Short.
These short balls are actually benefiting
Second
Dave
serve.
Fink because he has more time to breathe. Luis can put the dagger in if he wanted to.
Point.
It's very difficult to go for kill shots when you're,
Fatigued.
yeah, when you're tired.
14 serves 12. Point.
It's a 2-wall pass crack that hit deep.
15 serves 12.
I think he had that reverse, what we were talking about, how he always hits it with the reverse, and it just stayed out,
Point.
cracked out
Timeout,
straight.
Dave, that's your second.
That's a smart timeout right there
Coming
from
back
Dave
in
Fink.
1 minute. 16 serves 12.
This game was all tied up at 12. And then Moreno forced that timeout from Dave Fink. They come back in. 4 more points scored. Now it's 16-12, I believe. Or is it
Yep,
16?
16. It might be 15-12.
And then now Dave calls another timeout. There hasn't been much action here, just Luis scoring.
I don't know. I know he's
Dave looks pretty exhausted right there.
Yeah. A little bit. Well, I made it hard on myself. A little bit. Yeah, I think the ball grabs a little differently off the grass. Yeah. Versus.
This is an extended timeout here at game number 1.
10 seconds.
Tommy Little saying that it's 10 seconds. That 10 seconds was about 20 seconds ago. But that's good for Dave Fink, who gets an extended timeout here. Fink is actually sponsored by the
Okay,
Seattle
time's up.
WAC team, and Luis
16
Moreno is sponsored by the
12.
Idaho Spuds. Luis is the reason why the Idaho Spuds are
In the lead.
number 1 in the race standings. He's won 3 out of 5
No.
race stops.
No, stayed down.
Luis is talking about the contact right there.
And I think Dave's actually gonna give it to him, even though Tommy said no. He wasn't gonna give it.
16 serves 12.
What? I don't know what happened there.
Me neither.
Luis is able to dig that out. could be a big setup for Luis. If you give Luis a chance to set up, he's totally dangerous.
Oh, he's so deadly.
But if not, he'll rally like this forever. He doesn't get tired, so. See who makes the first mistake here.
That's a very nice shot, change of pace. They're both going hard, and all of a sudden you saw him change things up and very smooth.
Replay, sorry.
Good call.
Late call. Contact.
These are the tough ones when the rally ends in a late call replay. There's a lot of contact between these two, but they've always played that way. And Luis Moreno is one of those close players. He keeps a lot of balls going around the center of the court, which forces you to always be in the center of the court.
Right.
And you see Luis does these two-wall passes, which he learned from Fred Lewis and John Henning in Tucson. And sometimes when he overhits those two-wall passes, they come out to the middle of the court, which is oftentimes in these late rallies, you'll start seeing a lot of balls come across the center. And what happens is close play, a lot of congestion in the middle of the court. We've seen the last 3 rallies end in what could have been either screens, contact, or do-overs because of safety holdups, that sort of thing. Not a lot of movement on the scoreboard, but certainly a lot of close play.
Serve 16.
Fink's not too far out of this one, Dave.
That's a good serve right there. Look at Luis. He's able to track most every ball down.
He was on its way down. It was on its way down. That's a point.
I thought that was a good call.
Well,
I didn't think it was
wasn't
gonna
not
make
just
it.
on the way down. It actually hit his foot. It was on its way up
14,
off the
16.
ground.
Second serve.
Score here is 14-16, second serve. I like this serve right there from Fink because he's going to get a lot of good rewards from it. And Luis looked like he hurt himself on those wrestling shoes that he's wearing right there.
Hear him talking to himself.
15, serve 16.
That's a good serve from Fink. I also like that other serve that he did just previously. That ball looked like it hit Luis's shorts. Did you see it move?
Yeah, it moved. That's why I was.
16.
And if it did hit his shorts, it would have been unavoidable.
Great shot there, but Fink was too bad. Fink was right there.
Fink is playing good ball right now. He's keeping Luis away from offense.
Right, you got to though. That's what you got to do.
Luis like that though can create offense at any moment, and there he goes for it. Finally decides to let that ball go down, and made 2 offensive shots in the last 2, and he gets a point here at 17-16. It's best 2 out of 3 to 25, and is Dave Fink calling a timeout here?
His last timeout.
I didn't see a screen.
Oh,
If I see it,
he's
I'll call it.
complaining
I'm letting you guys play.
about something.
Yeah, I didn't see a hinder.
I didn't see a hinder nor a screen. I don't even know what
Nor
play
did I. I
that
thought it was a good volley.
If there's a screen or a hinder, you have to raise your hand in the air when it
17
happens.
or
That's
16.
kind of just a standard rule in handball. Didn't see any hand raising in there. See Luis trying to put on some pressure right now, and he gets that ball in the front court, and another point now at 18-16. Fink had to pull Sean
18
Lenning's
for
name back in
16.
Atlanta, and Nadi Alvarado in Fresno, and then Luis Moreno here in Salt Lake. Those are top 3 players in the world right now. You get them in 3 straight events.
Point.
It's tough. Very tough.
19, serve 16.
Don't think that Luis won't forget that. Even when Dave makes a great shot, Luis is there to pick it up.
I was watching that earlier, and there. So, you know, Dave, if he wouldn't, I don't know, maybe it was just the angle, but if Fink would have missed that, do you think he would have wanted the screen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think Tommy actually just said that.
Yeah, I mean,
17, serves 19.
Tommy was talking about it just now, too. I mean, we have a great camera angle. That was a short ball, no call. It will
Great
be
serve.
overturned.
Good. One agree, one disagree.
Make that 2 disagree.
Maybe even 3.
18 serves 19.
There's no maybes in this ball game,
Okay.
Anthony.
So then it's
3. There's some contact, no call.
Contact. And you got to call it before you take the shot. I mean,
He didn't take a shot.
he
He didn't get to it.
Yeah, right.
He never got to it. He didn't take the shot.
let's replay it.
This
Here's
is going to be
Dave.
bad here. If we can follow Dave Fink out, he's going to try to throw the ref out.
Hey, is he calling contact? Well, I got to give him. Hold on a second. Hold on, easy. I'll make the call. All right. He was hindered on his way to the ball. I mean, he's got to have a clear. He's got to have a path. Yeah, I know. He easily could have got it. I mean, it was up. It was a hinder. Hold on a second. It was after your shot. He has to have a clear path. He has to have the chance to go for the ball. That's all it was. It was just a hinder. Yeah. Let's just replay it. I saw it a hinder. It was contact.
It's the right call. I wish Tommy would just do that immediately as opposed to having the players come out and have to talk about it. I love the way he handles the problem, though. It just, I don't think there should be a problem. It was so obvious that there was a hinder there or some kind of stutter step because Luis had to step over Dave.
And like we've been saying, Luis will basically get to every ball. You know, that's not a question. But I don't think the players would have came out unless Fink actually, you know, Fink started to make his way out.
There's
so.
the same spot that Luis has slid on before. Now Dave was upset that he didn't get a hinder call in the middle of this rally, and yet he won the rally and he's not arguing with the referee.
Well,
19 serves 19.
Luis with those wrestling shoes have slipped on this floor a couple times already.
right.
I don't believe there's condensation right dead center in the middle of this court.
No, I don't know how well those have traction.
And now Dave Fink is at 20 here, trying to get this game number 1, and a timeout call is being called
Very smart.
from Luis Moreno, and I believe this is a smart timeout call. Luis now exiting the court, heading toward our booth. You're watching the WPH Race for 8, brought to you by Simple Green and the world players of handball. Of course, Zions, the scoreboard. They are powering the scoreboard for us. They're the official drink of the UFC. We appreciate the fact that you are tuned in to this live event today, as well as tomorrow with the finals that will take place later in the evening tomorrow, what we call Saturday Night Live, which is paying homage to the Showtime in Seattle event in 2008. If we can turn that referee's microphone down, that would be really good, as he's having a private conversation with one of the players right now. Don't want that to go over the air. But they do Saturday Night Live in Seattle, which is the first place that I've ever recalled doing a Saturday night final as opposed to doing it on Sunday when people are on flights and leaving and you don't get a lot of people in the stands. Here on Saturday night, this place will have hundreds of people watching, and they'll remember this for the rest of their lives, especially if it goes tiebreaker or if it's an exciting event.
Absolutely.
So that's why we've incorporated that into every one of the race stops.
But I think it's the best thing for the sport. Like you said, not too many people come Sunday, you know, to watch just because everyone's leaving and doing this and that. So can't wait for it.
20 serves 19.
Here it is, 20 serves 19. This timeout will also benefit Dave Fink, who needed a little break. That ball just gets over the line.
That ball looks short, but
No, side out. It didn't come out, it came down the wall. That's how I saw it.
I agree with the referee here. The ball
Likewise.
checked up on the ground and actually came back toward the side wall.
20 serves 20.
Normally that ball would just shoot right back out to Fink, and he could have got that call.
Such a great move.
Point.
Decides to take it off the back wall. Nice setup. Shoot to the left corner. Beautiful.
21 serves 20.
That's
Wow, nice shot from Dave Fink, tying this game at 21. That ball was not a skip.
No, that was good.
It's an amazing shot right there.
Side out. I want you to call it how you see it. I mean, agree, disagree, either way. Okay, yeah.
I thought that was good, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't know what Luis is complaining about.
Let's look at the replay here.
Replay, please.
We don't
Yeah, if you agree with my call.
allow replay anymore in the booth when it comes to officiating because it's just so inconclusive, but we're going to look at it anyway.
Hey, I had the same thing happen during my match. I hit one that I thought was good.
Now that
and they all
Luis said
it was
that,
good.
it looked like the ball came up at the short line,
It
but
looked
I don't
good,
know.
It sounded funny. Hey, let's just play it over. Nothing gained, nothing lost. I mean,
Nothing gained,
sorry.
nothing lost.
That's my call, man. I got
That's a
one
point.
agrees,
That's a
one
point for
disagrees.
Fink. There,
No,
or
they're
it's
going to take a point
for-
off. Now, referee said nothing gained, nothing lost. It actually is something lost.
we're gonna
It's a
have to-
point lost for Dave Fink.
Okay, it's a
Wow,
replay.
that was
21
it's a
serves
tough call to
20.
make, Dave. But I guess if you're gonna
It
if you're
did
gonna do
look
it
like
over,
it
you
could
gotta.
have skipped, though. It did look like on the replay that the ball did have something going on. Now, these courts are not exactly level,
Point.
and there's some strange things. You can see up in the ceiling, there's this part where
Oh,
the roof
the
is
roof
kind
is
of
caved
caving
in,
in a
yeah.
little bit, so the ceiling balls will check up on that left wall. Wow, that's an amazing serve right there from Luis Moreno. And Dave Fink was holding true in this game, and all of a sudden some
23
strange
serves
calls.
20.
And now he's slowly fading.
The score is 23-20, not 23-21. Now Moreno is serving for game point here, 24-20.
24 serves 20.
He likes to do that, Dave, on his special serves. Like you said, you like to save one for the last point, and there he likes to serve it down the middle and
Yeah.
throw a hop on it either way, natural or reverse. And
21
Fink actually
serves
returned it
24.
quite well.
21-24. Luis's special serve is that one down the middle. This could be a big setup for Luis Moreno. Is going to go to the left side. It was down the middle. Instead, he hops it away, and then he wins the match, 24-20.
First game.
This is game number one. We'll have two coming up right around the corner. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back right around the corner. Stick with us here at racefor8.com.
3 minutes. 3 minutes, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah. What's that? Oh, no, thank you very much, though.
And we are back live in Salt Lake City, Utah. Game number 2. It was Luis Moreno winning the very first game against Dave Fink by the score of 25-20. And now here in game number 2, Fink gets the first serve. Score is 0-0. Now Luis Moreno just wearing a t-shirt in there. It's actually a violation of the code of conduct.
Short.
And that will be addressed at the players' meeting tonight at the Golden Corral.
Point. 2 serve 0. 2 serve 0. Short.
You heard the referee call the score there, 2-0.
Second serve. Point. 3 serve 0.
Dave Fink has to be totally exhausted, Anthony.
Oh, extremely exhausted, Dave. He played a 2-hour-and-a-half match earlier, and now it's he's working his butt off. He just scored 22 points the last game. It's a lot of aggressive handball.
Luis Moreno was not completely sharp.
That first game, no, I agree with you.
Side out. One serves 4.
See what I like about that though is when Luis hits a quick shot, Dave's up there right away. He has to catch it before it actually makes its hop. You know, and
Yeah.
that's something that, as a player watching these pros, you want to take a good look at because I think it's an advantage.
Score here is 2-4, and a short ball being called by referee Tommy Little.
Second serve.
Big setup for Dave Fink.
Point.
Moreno not looking completely sharp here, leaving a lot of setups off the back wall. I believe that will not fare well for him if he faces somebody like a Sean Lenning in the finals. Certainly not against Nadi Alvarado if Nadi's back wall game is on.
4 serves 4.
All sounded like it broke.
It sounds like that a couple times. Maybe it's because how hard they hit it.
Side out.
That's fatigue setting in, Dave.
5 serves 4.
It's kind of the feeling that you get when you play in real hot weather.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what it's like when you play at elevations like 4,327 footage Salt Lake City.
6 serves 4.
Or when you play in Nevada. Oh, excuse me. Well, Las Vegas when it's
Well, it's very
120
similar to
degrees on the court.
You remember that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But that
I
same
got
sort of
the
feeling when
oh,
you
yeah.
get that heat exhaustion when
Yep.
you're out there.
Just
You really
completely.
can't argue with the referees because it's so hot you want to conserve your breath. Because every breath you take, every step you take, I'll be watching you. No, wait,
Oh,
that's not
is-
what I'm saying. Every breath
Right.
you take, the arid temperatures just suck all the
7 serves 4.
precipitation out of the air and all the
All the
moisture
juice
and
right out of you.
condensation out of your lungs and your tongue and
Point.
your throat. All of a sudden, it's sort of like
8 serves 4.
Think a timeout's coming here if Luis scores?
I don't know.
Point.
Or do you think he's kind of
I think Fink is
realizing, maybe not realizing, just kind of
9 serves 4.
gassed?
I think that's kind of the case here. Fink has had a good tournament,
Oh,
though.
a great tournament. You can't take that away from him.
I think he could have won that first game, too. I just believe that there's some unfortunate calls that didn't go
10
his
serves
way
4.
and could have. 10-4 is the
That's a
score
change.
here in game number 2 with Moreno leading after winning the first one 25-20. You see how Luis hits a lot of balls that are hitting the wall. See, there's
Yep.
you could have counted 6 in a row during that rally that were hitting side
Walls. Right.
A lot of other players will every now and then mix in the straight forward and back. Luis likes push you side to side.
5 serves 10.
That's his 3-wall game in there, though.
Well, he's in such a good shape that
Oh yeah.
he knows Fink is tired.
Oh yeah. A game ago, Fink would have got that. You know.
11 serves 5.
Dave
Fink
gave up
would-
on that play.
Over.
Dave Fink gave
Gave
up on that play
and it
right
stayed
there.
up.
And the ball hopped back to him because Luis has such a devastating
Replay, 11 serves 5.
serve. Luis is expecting him to jump over there for that ball, and then it would tie him up.
Right. And do you think that's, with playing with such a lively ball and on a good court, it's almost a disadvantage for some players like that? Because it will, you know, they hit the ball so hard,
Yeah.
and it's a great serve, but yet it will come off the back wall just because of how hard they hit it.
6
I
serves
just
11.
think that Luis needs to modify and go with the natural so it slides the
Slides.
wall and just keeps it so it doesn't check up at all. I mean, if he
Side out.
sees that Fink is tired here, might as well just go with some naturals down the walls on both ways as opposed to
12 serves 6.
your reverses that he's trying to do here. There's the scoops from Fink, and it's where Luis tees off normally.
Nice change of pace.
13 serves 6.
Oh, see that little slide away? He's making him work.
Timeout, Dave.
Smart timeout.
Dave Fink is completely exhausted here. This is one of those where you don't even need to walk out of the court. You just kind of lean against the wall and
Asking someone to push the door open for him because he doesn't want to put his finger in the hole.
well, it's easy. All you have to do is just stick your finger in and pull it open. It's not like it's that difficult. You don't need to have somebody push that.
Coming back in.
There's a little handle there that you just pull.
And he's not handicapped.
Well,
Maybe.
this is game number 2.
Oh, thanks.
It's very frustrating when you're playing this hard and this altitude. And Fink has had a great tournament, but Luis Moreno right now is young. He's got a lot of talent. He can run for days,
And he's good.
and he'll play 2 or 3 times a day if he has matches lined up. He's the number 1 in the points race. He's the top player right now as of, you know, how odd it is that Sean Lenning is number 1, although Sean is dominant, don't get me wrong.
Right.
He's the number 1 ranked player in the world right now. Luis, though, is not number 1. He's number 3, and he's had 3 tour stop wins out of 5.
Well,
The 6th one being this tournament. He could have 4 out of 6 and still not be number 1. That's because Luis decided not to go to the Nationals this year. Sean Lenning did and made the finals, and that's the only difference, because the finals will
More
pack
points.
with it about
10, Luis is serving.
8 points, and that's
14
8 points that
for
Luis
6.
needs to try to make up
up.
on Sean. And when they're both making it to the semis or the finals,
Point.
you know, when Luis
Right.
makes it to the finals and defeats Sean, Luis is getting 8 points, Sean's getting
15
6, so it's
for
only a
6.
2-point difference there. And so
Yeah.
he has another 4 more of those that he has to get in order to make up for what Sean did
A lot of ground to
at the
cover.
Nationals.
a lot of ground to
And that's
cover.
the reason why he's at 3 right now. And then you look at Nadia Alvarado. He made it to the semis at the Nationals, but he's also made it to the finals of multiple stops this year. And it's been the most consistent player I think I've ever seen.
7 serves
And
15.
I've watching him play at the last pro stop. It was very, very impressive.
He's consistent.
Very
He's either in the finals or the semis of every tournament. I don't know if I've ever seen him lose in the quarters. And when you are semifinal success, you're going to be hovering around 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Right?
And he really has for the last 20 years been in the top 4.
It's unreal.
He's appealing the serve. He's appealing the serve. I called it good. Both agree. 16 serves 7.
Awkward appeal, but if Luis was able to straighten those out, he wouldn't have a chance at him. But
I think for as tired as Dave Fink is right now, he's playing pretty darn good.
I agree with you.
That's called the announcer's curse.
17, serve 7.
Oh, that's
wow.
a heartbreaker, and he's going to get a high five from Fink.
Nice high five. Good
Or
push,
one of those.
push aside, yeah.
It's point. 18, serve 7.
I didn't know what he was going to do there. That's the same look that guy that robbed the 7-Eleven the other day gave the lady when he walked over at Luis and wasn't sure if he was going to slap hands or kiss babies.
8 serves 18.
Wow, that's a 90-mile-per-hour shot right there from Luis Moreno.
90 mile an hour with a curveball.
With a wrinkle
you
at the
know?
end?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just at the end.
Yep. But nothing too serious.
You didn't want to show it too early. Wow.
Oh, what a hop.
Gave it back to him. Taste of his own medicine.
Now that ball was strange because Luis threw it up to the roof and it actually hit the ceiling and checked.
9
Actually hit the
serves
front wall and
19.
then checked at the ceiling, and Dave stepped in and flew that ball and then put a little spin on it himself.
Point.
Nice shot by Dave.
Fink at 10. Respectable play here in the quarterfinals. The fans in Salt Lake City
10
catching
serves
some
19.
great action. Watching the WPH Simple Green Race for 8 live here. And another point for Dave Fink. We're in Salt Lake City. 11 to 19.
11
Dave is
serves
actually
19.
serving and shooting here.
Yeah.
Anthony.
And that's what, and you know what? And like we talked about earlier, I think that if you can get a weak return, serve and shoot, it's going to be your best bet, especially against someone as potent as Luis. If you can try to keep him on the defensive edge and then you play offense.
Side out.
And a timeout is being called by Dave Fink.
Timeout, Dave. That's your second.
I thought there was some of the
Coming back
best
in
handball
1
being
minute
played right
with
here in the
Luis
last
serving at 20 serves
3
minutes or
3 minutes.
so.
I
You're
agree.
watching this live broadcast courtesy of our sponsors, Ace Outdoor, as well as Ace Disposal here in Salt Lake City. That's where we get the name,
I
the
turned around
Aces
and
Handball
looked for
Tournament.
you.
It's been around for quite some time. Also, Dewey Bail Bonds, and if you ever get into a
Yeah.
bind, you want to get a hold of them.
He's from Tucson. 2-minute glove change.
Now there's going to be a 2-minute change of gloves.
You hear Dave Fink over there asking if he gets the 1 minute on top of the 2. And
Strange that he's asking that question.
it's claiming the inevitable.
Now it's going to be a 3-minute break. And I think he needs it.
Yeah.
And you see
Broken jockstrap.
We are also going to take a break in the booth. We'll be back in about 30 seconds or so. Stick with us at racefor8.com. Lolita. Push it against that. You can bring us up. And we are back live in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is the conclusion of game number 2. It was Luis Moreno taking the first one 25 to 20 in a very close one. It was tied at one point at 19, and then Luis decided to start serving. He went on to defeat Dave Fink in that first game. Here in game number 2, looks like the inevitable is going to happen, although Fink showed us that he can score some points. He got 3 straight there against Moreno, and it looked like he was in command, but this extended 2-minute timeout is, I think, perturbing Moreno just a little bit as he keeps
Right.
looking back, talking
To
at
Tommy.
the referee, and the referee can't hear anything he's saying.
Right.
Luis Moreno is a lot like a lot of the players on the tour. They go back and watch these matches live on the internet.
Well,
So in
that's,
about
that's how
2
you
or
learn.
Yeah, 2 or 3 months from now, you'll be
Right.
texting me, telling me things about
Right.
this match that I need to remember.
Nice.
I wasn't saying anything to the referee.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what
Don't tell me that.
I didn't say anything. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
That ball was
It was
short.
short. I think Luis even knew it was short and pointed down.
Gonna be a big setup for Luis.
Nice shot.
21 serves 11. Short. Second serve.
It just sounds like the
I
ball.
think that ball
breaking.
broke.
A broken ball. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it broke on the second serve. Second serve.
It's the right call.
Yeah. I don't think it was really in question.
No. See, and now Luis is in favor. I mean, has a very good chance of just running out here with this great
I'm
ball.
wrong on that, actually, aren't I? They think I'm right. That's good enough. Second serve.
No, I think Tommy's right.
Check it.
I mean,
I
it
think
was
so
a
too.
short ball and you break it on the next one.
Say we do
Even
two
though it was
serves.
legal, the ball broke on the
21
front
serves
wall.
11.
It didn't break on the ground. It breaks on the wall that it hits. Now, Joe Cox is watching this
Short ball.
live broadcast right now. I don't believe he gets 2 serves, and I'm probably going to get overruled here with an email. But in my opinion, if you have a short ball and the next one you hit is good, but the ball breaks, you still have this. Now you're going into the second serve.
serve.
Right. Well, that's
But the ball
Second
that broke
serve
was
is 21
over the
over
short
short
line.
line.
But I say that the ball's not legal. It's not a legal serve because it's a
Right.
broken ball. So you go back to what happened prior to that, which would have been a short,
Short.
which makes it a second serve.
right.
And I hope to be corrected because this is something I'd like to learn.
Yeah, and you know what? I hope you are correct because I'm agreeing with you. So
Unlike Tommy Little, I'm not going to say, well, since everybody
Right.
that's listening agrees with me, then I'm right. That's what Barack Obama does.
Side out.
I actually want to be stand corrected. I'm just hoping that I'm right.
12 serves 22. Short.
good call.
Second serve.
So nice. Just finesse, change of pace. Can go hard, can go soft. It's
23 serves 12. Short.
Luis Moreno trying to break off that reverse.
Second serve.
Match coming up right around the corner will be Luis Cordova and Nadi Alvarado Jr. They'll jump on the court immediately following this one.
24 serves 12.
possible match point here.
Oh,
Side out.
Dave Fink gets a point.
13 serves 24. Point. Serves 24.
Nice get right there from Moreno, who does
Nice.
the Mary Lou Retton spin at the end of his follow through.
Oh, nice.
Towel, please.
Good reference.
Pardon me?
It's a good reference on your Mary Lou.
Well, I try to bring up stuff from the 80s. My references all come from the 80s. You know, the 80s.
Right, the 80s.
The decade before you were born.
Well, I was 87, so I was born in the late 80s.
You don't have to correct me. I know you're young.
All right.
I'm actually sitting here with my finger on my mouth.
I see that.
15,
And my
serves
wife sees me and she
24.
thinks
She's
that I'm talking to her, that she's supposed to be
Too loud.
quiet.
Yeah, right. It's okay.
And I wasn't referring to her. 24 is the score here, and Moreno has a chance to actually make it 25, but Fink scores another point here. Now he's going to have to score out, which is going to be hard for Fink to score a minimum of 9 points at least to get overtime. 16 to 24 is the score.
Luis
Second
might
serve.
play defense strategy and make Fink miss the shot to win it, but
Side out would
we'll
mean
see.
that Luis gets the win, and there's a
Point.
point for Fink. And he knows he could have lost it right there.
Yeah.
I believe this scoreline's pretty
17
respectable
serves
against Luis
24.
Moreno. He had to go for it, and Moreno
Great.
wins the match 25 to 20, 25 to 17, and he advances to face the winner of either Nati Alvarado or Luis Cordoba in the semifinals tomorrow. That's Luis Moreno taking down Dave Fink, and we are listening to that round of applause there, and hopefully we can go to our sideline reporter, but I'm not quite sure we'll be able to do that.
Check, 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 check.
So we are going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes as we have another match right around the corner scheduled here on the show court. It'll be Luis Cordoba and Nati Alvarado Jr. Stick with us at racefor8.com.
Check, check, check. Check.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning.
Testing 1, 2. Testing, check.
Thank you.
Testing.
Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
Mic 1 and mic 3 are trying to send on the same one.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teams are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.